Text. What is text? As I told you previously, text is any oral or written material. Now we are going to understand text in a more comprehensive manner, in a more scientific manner, in the language of technicality. What is the text from the perspective of linguistics? Look at point number 1. When people speak or write, they produce text. And text is what listeners and readers engage with and interpret. Look here. What people speak, what people write, they produce words, they produce sentences. And a collection of words, a collection of sentences, they build up idea, and that idea can be comprehensively known as text. So, and continue. And text is what listeners and readers engage with and interpret. When somebody is speaking, I am listening. So what I am listening? I am basically listening the text spoken by someone. So I can listen. When I listen, somebody is speaking, then I can interpret the meaning. Likewise, when I read any text, any piece of writing, then I will interpret the idea, then I will come to understand, and then I will know the meaning behind it. So, text is what people speak or write. That is to say, text may be in the oral form or in the written form. When it is in the oral form, we as listeners try to listen, understand, and interpret. When it is in the written form, we as readers try to read them, understand them, and interpret them. So this is all about point number 1. Go to the point number 2. Some more information about text. The term text refers to any instance. Instance means example. Again, the term text refers to any instance of language in any medium that makes sense to someone who knows the language. Look here, this point number 2 is more comprehensive, has a wider meaning. That text refers to any instance of language, any piece of writing in any language, in any medium. That doesn't matter. And what text means, that it must make sense. If somebody is speaking, somebody is writing, what somebody has spoken, what somebody has written, if that meaning could be conveyed to someone, that meaning, that idea could be referred to as text. So these are 2 points here at the moment, point number 1 and point number 2. We move on to the next page. What is text? Look here, 3 and 4. Number 3, we continue with the same, what is text? So we have some more information. We can characterize text as language functioning in context. Look, Halliday is a very famous writer. He has written a book, as I told you in the beginning of our lesson, Introduction to Functional Grammar. And he says, what is text? Text is a language functioning in context. Look here, language functioning means that language works in context. What I speak and what I write, unless or until you know the context, you know the background, you cannot understand the meaning. So what is text? So text is a language functioning. It works as the functioning of the language. It helps language. How it helps language? Because it helps language to understand the meaning in context. If you don't have the background knowledge of what has been written and what has been spoken, then you cannot reach the actual meaning of the text. That is the point here, number 3. Go to the point number 4. Language is in the first instance, a resource for making meaning. So text is a process of making meaning in context. The same idea in another set of words. The same idea is explained in another way so that you can understand better. Here, what is that? What is language? Language is a resource for making meaning. Language helps us to understand the meaning, to understand the idea, to understand the opinion. Therefore, text is a process of making meaning in context. What is text? Text is a process of making meaning. We read something, we listen to someone, and immediately we come to the conclusion that somebody has spoken this idea, somebody has written this idea. So we understand that somebody has spoken that idea or somebody has written that idea. We understand that in context. The entire context, the entire paragraph, or the entire segment of what somebody has spoken helps us understand the idea behind it. So, what is text? Text is a process of making meaning in context. We move on to the next. Some more points we have about text. Point number 5, you can look at. To a grammarian, text is a rich, many-faceted phenomenon that means in many different ways. It can be explored from many different points of view as a grammarian, as a linguist, as an expert in the field of language. Text has multifarious meanings. Text can be looked at from different angles, from different points of view. Somebody has spoken or somebody has written something. We can look at that piece of writing from different points of view, depending upon what context we have formulated in our mind. This is the point here. Then we have point number 6. But we can distinguish two main angles of vision. 1. Focus on the text as an object in its own right. 2. Focus on the text as an instrument for finding out about something else. Here there are 2 examples. Text can work also as an object. Text can function also as an object. At the same time, text can also be an instrument. How text could be considered as an object and how text could be considered as an instrument? When I say text could be considered as an object, we will talk about this in detail in the next page. But here briefly I would like to tell you is that look, object means that suppose there is a book or there is a paragraph and I have read it. So when I take that paragraph out of the book and I want to analyze it, this becomes my object to analyze it. So the text becomes an object. Now when I start finding out the meaning and so on and so forth, going into details, means that the text is becoming and helping us to understand more meaning behind it. Means what? The text is acting as an instrument for us to understand, to reach the level of meaning. This is the idea here. Point number 6. We move on to the next page.